Okay. It must be one of those days that I have to get stuff off my chest. Okay, so language, our language, right? How it's been fucked up and deliberately fucked up, right? I've watched several videos about this, and the people who make the videos, a lot of the time they seem to be like, you know, they understand a lot about what's going on. They talk about the Navy language, for example, and how it connects with the doctors, like the dock. I don't want to go all over it, but the dock, you know, where you moor your boat and berth your boat, like you have a doctor who gives you your doctor's certificate of birth when you have a baby, and you birth a baby just like you birth a boat in the birth canal, you know, and you have a bank and like where you put your money, but the river it's also got a bank, you know. It goes on and on and on. They use the same phonetic words, the words that sound the same, but they use them in all these different ways that are like have got these parallel meanings. And what they do is they use all of that to sort of subconsciously enslave you. And it's fucking extremely annoying and difficult to explain this to anyone. You know, to explain people who don't understand it, and even if you do understand it, it's still fucking a total head fuck. Like the word "not," for example, I do not understand. Right, the word "not" goes in your head, and it's the same. Your subconscious hears it as the word "not" when you tie two bits of rope together to make a knot. So what that does is it stops your brain. Stops you being able to think. There's loads of things like this in the English language, and I'm pretty sure all the other languages. They've all been deliberately dumbed down and deliberately made hobbled. So they don't work properly. They're very, very inefficient. And it's totally deliberate. Right, and if you try to talk to people about that, nobody's got the attention span or the language capacity to listen to what people like me are saying and take it in properly, because you've got all these stupid fucked up words that have got double meanings and triple meanings, and they send your subconscious off all over in all sort of strange directions, so you can't understand what people are saying, even though they're trying as hard as they can to make it as clear as possible. It's the language that is fucked up. Our language is deliberately fucked up, right? You can look at this, you can study history about it. People have gone all around the world and deliberately changed people's language to force them to use languages that are basically slave languages. That mean that you can't communicate with people properly. Your IQ is dumbed down. Your language skills are it's as if you've had 50 or more IQ points stripped away from your natural intelligence because you're having to use fucked up languages. Now, I'm thinking, how do we talk about this? There's no way of talking about it. What am I supposed to do? You know, it's like no one's going to understand it if I start talking like that, are they? Oh dear. So what do you do? I mean, I can ask people what to do. I know if I ask people to leave comments, I won't get any coherent, proper comments that's going to help me understand how we can make a new language, one that works. Right? I tried to touch on this a little while ago on a video a few weeks ago, and what I didn't probably mention, what I meant to mention, was that we need to just abandon it all. That's what I think. At least we should give people an option. We should have a straightforward, concrete language for normal people who just want to have a simple life away from technology, away from the written word, right? and the language should probably have only about 2,000 words, and everyone will know all of those words. You know, everyone can learn 2,000 words. It's no big deal. You know, but we've got a language that's got 200,000 words or more, and nobody can learn all of those words. So you're constantly coming up against people that are using words that you don't understand. You know, and it's like, does everybody carry a dictionary around with them all the time with all 200,000 words in, which is constantly needs to be updated every year? You need to get a new dictionary. Nobody does that, and it's obvious why, because it's fucking ridiculous. It's a pain in the fucking arse, you know. So nobody does it. So nobody can ever expect to understand what most other people are talking about, and that is ridiculous. The whole fucking thing is fucking a nightmare. Makes me extremely angry. You know, I'm much calmer than I was the last 20 minutes when I was like talking to myself about it and getting really stressed out. You know, I just had to get myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with gluten-free bread, but you know, I just do something to help me calm down. I did hear about this language in Chile. I've been trying to look for a video about it. I saw the video about 4 or 5 years ago, probably something like 5 years ago. And there's this language in somewhere in Chile. It's like one of the native Chilean languages. I think it's Chile, and they found it such a perfect language. And there's a set number of words, and they could basically use it as a computer language. It's so accurate and concrete. You could use it as a computer language. And there were people talking in this video about how they were really looking into sort of like trying to turn this language into a computer language, because it's so clear and easy to understand that it's like a computer can understand it. You know, that's the sort of language we need. We need to have that as our go-to language. And these other languages like English and Chinese and stuff and Russian, they should be our secondary languages. You know, that's what I really wanted to say. Why didn't I just think of that before? Anyway, I'm making the video. It's come out like that. That's great. That's what I wanted to say. That's what we need to do. We need to develop, we need to cotton on to one of these really straightforward, concrete languages that's got a finite number of words, that is never going to change, and it's very easy to use and everyone can understand it. That's all we need to do so we can communicate effectively. Now, the powers that be will not like us doing that, and that's probably why I can't find that video. They've probably hidden it away somewhere and made it very difficult to find, because they don't want people able to communicate. Because, you know, it's part of the way the system works, how the matrix works. We're all being dumbed down to the point we're like absolute fucking morons, simply because of the language we have to use and we've been taught in places like our school, which is designed to keep people dumbed down. And that's not a theory. This is not a theory of mine. It's absolute fact. The government, you look into it, the government has got a de-education policy all around the world. They're all the same. Our languages are dumbed down. Our school systems are dumbed down so that we can't communicate, so that we're all forced into sort of being stupid. It doesn't matter how intelligent we are, our language is stupid, so we are stupid. Our thoughts are stupid because our language is stupid. That's how it works, you know. And the people responsible, as far as I'm concerned, are like, well, just totally evil. Complete fucking monsters. So I'm sure there is an answer, but getting people to understand it or watch these videos and take any of this seriously, that's a totally different question. It's probably never going to happen. I haven't got my hopes up or anything. Oh, dear.